You are watching a master at work.
I am the genius of boxing. I am an analyst.
Hey, people. You guys know who this is, man. This is your boxing genius, man, from SBMboxing.com, man. Here to talk a little bit about the little event that's going to happen right here in the little NGM studio here in my house. Saturday. The fight that we all been waiting for. Let me whistle up and let me get my whistle wet, because you're going to hear a lot of this shit that I'm going to talk to you about Saturday night's fight, man. Hold on a second. First of all, we all know we've been waiting for this fight, September the 13th, which is going to be the Maidana Mayweather #2 classic fight. First time around, we all know that Mr. Mayweather won on the UD, unanimous decision. And eventually, in that fight, he's claiming that he won 9 rounds. Maidana lost 3. Honestly, myself, like many people out there, consider the fight to be a little bit closer, or at least a draw. We all know, and I watched the fight the second time around. Maidana was very, very aggressive, but he wastes a lot of his punches also, and he wild punch, the way I seen it the second time around. A lot of his front punches did not connect. He lost the juice more or less after the 7th round. Things started to change, started turning around. And, obviously Mayweather himself is claiming, Mr. TPOB boxing is claiming that eventually, he was actually dirty tactics. He was headbutting him. He was using his elbows. He was using his knees. Let me ask you something. Or even say that this was not an MMA fight. Let me ask you something, Mayweather. TPOB. Because that's why I call you TPOB. Because you're always a fucking baby crying, You're always crying. Now, when the fuck in boxing champions, real champions, have you heard them not using dirty tactics? One of the most dirtiest men in boxing was himself, Mr. Mano de Piedra Roberto Duran. He was well known for that bullshit. He was the master on that. You also got Mr. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Another master at that. You had a guy by the name of Aaron Pryor. Another master at that. You had a guy by the name Terry Norris. Another master at that. You had Alexis Aguayo. Another master at that. You had Mr. Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all times, a master at that. Joe Frazier. I could go on and on and on. But let me tell you something. You're the only pussy ass that sits there and your fucking little pussy ass fans believe your dumb ass and complain about dumb shit like that. And to go fact, later on I'm going to talk about this bullshit, because that's how you do things around with your little TMT team, money team, okay? You go around and accommodate your fights. You select fighters because my understanding is in all your previous fights and all this previous talk, my son Kenny, which tells he's not arguing, we discussed many times that he does not fight against nobody who's come off a defeat. He doesn't fight people who have lost previously. He doesn't fight them for the second time. They got to earn a spot at you. Now, what are you doing with Maidana? Maidana, you defeat him. But the only reason why you're fighting him is, one of the main reasons is because you have to prove out there to your little followers, your boxing world, especially me, that you won convincingly. And convincing to me, yes, you could win 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, on a unanimous decision. But honestly, you don't convince me as what they say, TBE, as you call yourself, TBE, the best ever, because your resume sucks to be called that shit. And your fucking pussy ass fans along with you believe dumb shit like that. That's why you're 46-0. Come on, dude. Your resume sucks. You can't compare yourself to none of the others. None of the others, you compare yourself and talk about TBE, the best ever. Come on, dude. You can't do that. How in the fuck are you going to allow yourself to be called that? Oh, you ass-kissing fans may say you are. And then with your money, you go and buy your accommodation because you say in many of your little all access, always find your way to win. The only way I find out that you always find a way to win is you buy judges, you fight in Vegas, you accommodate Mr. the latest Mauricio Sulaiman, now being that he is now the president of WBC because his dad, God bless him, passed away. So he becomes the president. First of all, Sulaiman is another ass kisser, just like most of your fans out there, and the rest of your fans out there, a bunch of ass kissers. Don't know shit about boxing. Okay? Because how in the hell is Mr. Mauricio Sulaiman go out there publicly and say this is going to be an historical night for who? For Mayweather? How in the fuck is you going to say that it's going to be an historical night for Mayweather? Why? Oh, because he's defending two titles, the 147 and the 154. Something that has never been done before, previously, and historically. We are going to compare him what to who? Sugar Ray Leonard? Hey, Sugar Ray Leonard did defend two titles. And it wasn't two titles that he defended in if I'm not mistaken, 1988. Sugar Ray Leonard defended his vacant excuse this person. Let me go back. Let me go whistle this. Hold up, whistle. Let me think about this. Genie's got to think about something. And excuse me. I'm pissed off. I'm getting confused because this dumbass Mauricio Sulaiman is giving these options to this fool. One, Sugar Ray Leonard in 1988, he was not defending none of his titles. Let's put it that way. If you're asking me that he was defending a title, I don't think he was defending a title. Sugar Ray Leonard in 1987, he had just beaten Mr. Marvelous Marvin Hagler at the 160. Okay? Marvelous Marvin Hagler fought him at the 160 in 1987, and Sugar Ray beat him by decision. A year later, 1988, this is what I say, how can you call yourself TBE? I'm comparing you to one dude, Sugar Ray himself. Sugar Ray himself. One man that I'm comparing you to. That in 1988, this guy goes from 160, and by the way, Sugar Ray Leonard started, you guys know, in the Olympics, he was a light welterweight. Okay? Light welterweight. I said 140, 140, 140, 147, 154, 160, 168, and then 175. Guess what? That night that Mr. Mauricio Sulaiman is trying to tell you fools out here that night, historic night since Mr. Mayweather was not defending a title that night. Mayweather went from the 160 pound, which was the actual middleweight title he had taken in 1987 from Mr. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He went up and bypassed the 168 pound, which is the super middleweight title, 168, which is where Andre Ward is today, and Mr. Joe Galzaki, the famous Joe Galzaki, he retired 46-0, left. Sugar Ray went up to 175, the light heavyweight title, which is what Mr. Adonis Stevenson, Mr. T, the small T, which I call Mr. Small T Superman, is at 175. He went there and fought Donnie Alante and beat him. So he won the vacant super middleweight, 168, and he won the light heavyweight from Daniel Alante, which was holding the title at that time at 175. Now, where in the fuck does Mauricio Sulaiman gonna compare a pussy of boxing, Mr. Mayweather today, to somebody of that type of caliber in nature like Mr. Sugar Ray? And Sugar Ray lost. But that's not the point. Sugar Ray beat The best, and he fought the best. He could say he was a TPOB, a boxing, and he was not even called that, and he wouldn't say he was called that. He's one of the greatest. Muhammad Ali is called the greatest, and he lost. And your pussy ass comes around here with a TMT team on All Access and show me all your money and all your cars and all these females and all this shit. By the way, you can't hold one of these motherfuckers anyway. And you're going to call yourself TBE. Like I said, I call you TPOB, which fits you better, the pussy of boxing. Okay? Then you go and do some shit like that. That's number one factor, the way I see for this fight. And that's all for promoters and for your dumbass Mauricio Sulaiman. I wonder how much money you gave that fool to come and make some dumbass remark like that. Then you turn around here with your little complaining and pussy ass complaining about, oh, Mr. Maidana, he's a dirty guy. He hits me with his head, with his knees, with his shoulder. This is not MMA, man. This is boxing. I'm a stylist. I'm a technician. You are all that shit, but you're also a pussy. Nobody else complains about shit like that. You're the only pussy ass who complain. You talk about fighting dirty. When you fought Victor Ortiz, and Victor Ortiz hit you with a dirty headbutt, I consider that dirty. What would you do? Then you sucker pussy punched him while Mr. Joe Cortez, that fool ass referee, had his head turned the other way, and then he comes turning around. Oh, 1, 2, 3. That's the last fool you ever knocked out. And you talking about knocking out Maidana Saturday? Yo, kiss my ass, fool. And guess what I have for you too? This is what I say for you fools out here. Look, I wouldn't be such a smart ass if you would not be such a dumbass. What does that tell you? I wouldn't be such a smart ass. I'm telling you all this shit. If you fools out there won't be such dumbasses believing that this actual fool today is calling himself TPOB. I mean, TPOB is what I call him. TBE. Look how much shit, I'm confusing this shit now. Because that's how custom I got to call him this shit. I'm going to get a t-shirt made too. TPOB, hopefully by Saturday, to wear the shit and a cap to go along with it. So Mr. Mayweather, you will see this shit on videos. A lot of you fools out there will see that shit. Because that's all I think about this guy. I dislike the fool. I don't hate him, but I dislike him because he talks so much shit. And people actually believe what he talks, man. Maidana, don't change up. You got a guy now by the name of, why? Kenny Bayless now? Is going to go in there and referee your match against Mr. Mayweather? Who changed that shit? Mr. Mayweather requested, paid Sulaiman a couple of more dollars to what? To have Tony Weeks taken out? Because he allowed you to do some of your dirty tactics the first time around? I didn't see it. Nobody seen it. The referee seen it. The judges seen it. You only seen it. You were the only fool that complained about it. So what are you talking about? Okay, you got headbutt, but it was not a purpose. On purpose, no, it was not a headbutt that he did on purpose. Victor Ortiz was on purpose. And you're talking about knocking him out. Man, get the fuck out of here. You better hope, you better hope that he turns his head around, the bell rings, and he turns around and you can knock him out same way you knocked out Victor Ortiz. But you ain't knocking out no fucking Maidana. So Maidana, I don't know why you want to change your style of boxing, your tactics that night to fight Mr. Mayweather, because Kenny Bayless is going to be the new referee in that match. And we all know, and you know, that Kenny Bayless has deducted points for you from previous fights for your illegal fractures, according to we say. And now that Mayweather and everybody's saying this shit, point out blank in, in black and white, and Mayweather saying in black and white, what the hell do you think Kenny Bayless is going to be looking for? Huh? He ain't going to be looking for Mayweather to hit you dirty. He's going to be looking for you to hit him dirty. That's all. That's another plus in Mayweather's side. Then he's fighting in Vegas, where he never fights. You don't fight nowhere else but Vegas. He has his little judges, the same little group of little judges that he probably plays golf and gambles with there in the casinos with. So what are you saying, man? I don't know. I have a feeling that this time around it's not going to be the same fight. I don't even think that man Madonna's going to go at him like he did in the first fight. It means that he's getting more money paid, probably some more underneath the table. I don't know. And people will say he's crazy. I said, I'm not crazy. You don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all kiss my ass if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay? And in the welterweight division, he's fighting there. And he's going to go fight Madonna, defend his title at 154. And when the fuck, like I said before, that I can discuss this shit a little while with you guys before. When the fuck have you seen Mr. Marcus Madonna fight at 154? I would like someone to tell me, when did Mr. Marcus Madonna ever fight at 154? Marcus Madonna came down. I mean, he was a 140 to 147. That's all. Well, 140, 147. He's never fought at 154. So you're not fighting a legit 154 like Mr. Sugar Ray Leonard fought a legit light heavyweight titleist. How the fuck are you comparing your shit to TBEs? And again, you came from the same weight. Was it 135, 140? You fought at what, 154? One time? That's why they're allowing you to defend your title, because the last one you fought was Canelo. You defended his title. And I don't know how the fuck you beat him. You're in the same way you want to beat Madonna second time around, not fighting. And that's all. Mr. Mayweather, to me, honestly, you're not fooling me, man. You fool all these boxing fans out here with all your bullshit and all access, with all these cards, all this money, the richest boxer of all time, could be the richest athlete of all time. I don't know. But guess what? Huh? Who the fuck have you fought? Your resume is nothing compared to, like I just told you, one guy, Sugar Ray Leonard. And there's a whole lot of others I wouldn't even want to waste my time to talk about. Because maybe your boxing fans out there, these kiss asses, don't even know half of the fuckers that I'm going to mention. Unless they research it. They say, oh, that was the old school. That was a different era, different time. I don't give a fuck, man. Different time and a different era. But guess what? The box is there for 15 rounds. And there was only WBC, WBA, WBF. There was none of this bullshit. Cracker Jacks, Kellogg's, Poster Cornflakes, the cereal champ, the international champ, the South American champ, the European champ. Motherfucker holds 10 titles at one weight. Now, how the fuck release some shit like that? You call that boxing? I call that a bunch of pussies. Okay? Who want to box. Today, I mean, I'll talk about it. I know about it. I love it. I am a boxing analyst. I love it. Gives me some shit to talk about. And make videos about. And drink Coors Light about. That's what it's all about, fans. But anyway, I don't want to make things a little bit boring for you guys. This coming Saturday, Little MGM, right here in my home, we're going to hold that fight. And we all know that also on that same card, I think you got a Leo Santa Cruz fighting a Victor Manuel Roman. You also got a lightweight, which is going to be Miguel Vasquez against the Milky Bay. And you got Alfredo Angulo, the Perro, that we all know, fighting a James De La Rosa. And last, you got John Molina Jr. fighting Humberto Soto, and I don't even know who the fuck is that. And to be honest, this card sucks. It does. It honestly sucks. I'm going to pay the $75 because, I'm going to have some friends come over. And like we always do, we always watch these fights, and we talk about these fights. But honestly, Showtime and now HBO is running the same shit. Y'all giving us some bullshit boxing matches, man. The last boxing match I seen was the one with Sean Porter and Kell Brook. That's about it. All this other shit sucks. Well, anyway, God bless you guys. Hope to see you guys Saturday. Right directly, not see you guys. You're going to hear some videos being made Saturday directly here from Little GM, my home. We're going to have a little pre-fights, maybe post-fight to see what's going to happen in the fight. God bless you. Love you guys. And guess what? For those of you that say the genius doesn't know shit about boxing, y'all could kiss my ass. Y'all have a good